welcome to Mini-Modelog. In this series I'll be delving into the lore of Blood Bowl, from its origins to its teams and everything in between. So let's take a look at its beginnings. Obviously it's Games Workshop and based in the old world of Warhammer Fantasy. So before the beautiful game, all the races of the old world settled their differences on the battlefield. And during a rare parley between the dwarves and orcs, a bored and hungry orc chieftain by the name of Monk was sat playing Flick the Bogey with his second in command. They decided they were hungry and began digging for earthworms and discovered a doorway to an ancient domed building. Inside the building were rooms with various armour, as well as strange symbols and mosaics. But on a central plinth was an enormous book. Like I said, the races of the old world preferred to batter each other with fist and sword. Few took the time out of their busy day to actually learn how to read, so the book was a bit of a mystery. Thankfully, curiosity overtook the generals on both sides and they found an ancient dwarf seer who began to translate the text. Taken as a religious book, it was dedicated to a god called Nuffle. The tome contained the basic rules of what will become Blood Bowl from a land called Amorica. The ancient seer who translated the book dedicated his life to Nuffle and adopted the title and name Sacred Commissioner Roze-el, a high priest previously mentioned in the book. He set up a sect that would dedicate itself to Nuffle, trying to learn everything it could find within this domed building. Agreeing to use the newly discovered game to resolve their differences, both sides introduced a team to compete, and so the first game of Nuffle Amorical football began. Although no winner was ever recorded, the excitement of this new game dissolved the desire to continue the battle, and both sides were left to spread their enthusiasm over the new sport of Blood Bowl. So once the stragglers cleaned the field after the first game, the sacred and green pitch was revealed, and Roze-el spotted that there was the gridiron mentioned in the sacred book. By the time of his death, Roze-el and his acolytes were able to piece together enough rules from the book and other documentation they found in the stadium for a proper game of Blood Bowl, and at least 16 teams turned up to compete in the first season. Most people who became players simply walked onto a team, wanting to know what this new sport was about. However, this need for skilled players began to rise, and slowly, stars began to emerge. Soon problems arose when various teams from the old world and the new world began to create variations on the rules. Unable to reach an agreement on the rules for a match between the Reichland Reavers and the Dwarf Giants, it almost went back to full-scale war, and was only just narrowly avoided. In 2409, an organisation sprung up called the Nuffle Amorical Football, also known as the NAF, formed to lay down a universal rule set that needed to be followed by all teams playing in that very next season. By 2431, twin conferences were ratified: the New World Football Conference, or the NFC, and the Old World Football Conference, or the AFC. They would send the winners of their respective conferences for a final match to win the coveted Blood Bowl trophy. During this time, a few of the well-known teams started to appear. These included, as I've already mentioned, the Reichland Reavers, the Gouged Eye, Darkside Cowboys and the Champions of Death, to name a few. In 2456, when the Lizardmen left Lusteria and began conquering the old world, they realised Blood Bowl was being played, but in their native land they've been playing it since year 31, playing against Skaven teams. Their most famous team, the Quagmire Crater Gators, dominating the Lusterian leagues for centuries. So that's the origins of Blood Bowl. Hope you enjoyed this video. Next time we move on to the years of the NAF, where we look at how the injection of money, sponsors, and its eventual peak in 88-89 season eventually led to its downfall with mass scandal, bankruptcy, and the eventual end of the NAF. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.